Friends, so in the previous lecture, we were discussing regarding what are the advantages and disadvantages of the negative feedback. We have discussed what is the effect of a negative feedback on a input resistance, output resistance, on a noise, bandwidth, and distortion of the amplifier. So these are the advantages, and only one disadvantage is the gain of the negative feedback amplifier is going to reduce. Today in this video lecture we will see the types of the negative feedback, and all these different types of the negative feedbacks are used for the different kind of the application. Then later on also we will discuss the circuit diagram. So if we look at this feedback, then we have two types of the feedback. One is called a positive feedback, and already we have discussed about what is the positive feedback. Then another type of the feedback we have, that is a negative feedback. Positive feedback is normally used in the oscillator circuits. And negative feedback is used in the amplifier circuit. Now if we see the types of the negative feedback, then it will be according to that you are feeding the output voltage, fraction of the output voltage to the input, or the fraction of the output current to the input. So accordingly we have again two types of the negative feedback. So we can say that it is a voltage feedback, and another is a current feedback. Means the output voltage, fraction of the output voltage is given to the input, that is a voltage feedback amplifier, and the fraction of the output current is feedback to the input, that is called a current feedback. Now again in a voltage feedback, so whatever the voltage, fraction of the output voltage is there, how you are connecting to the input? It is connected in series with the input signal, or it is connected parallel to the input signal. So again according to that connection we have two types of the voltage feedback, and it is known as a voltage series feedback, and another is known as voltage shunt feedback. Remember. And then if you look at this current feedback, the same way, whatever the feedback is there, that feedback voltage you are connecting in series or in parallel. So accordingly we have two types of the current feedback, that is a current series feedback and the current shunt feedback. So in this way, if you see, when we apply a negative feedback, then we can have four different types of the feedback. It is known as a voltage series feedback, then another is voltage shunt feedback, third one is current series feedback, and the fourth one is current shunt feedback. Now all these four different types of the amplifier have a different application. And in a first lecture we have discussed what is the effect of a feedback on a resistance. So here also we will see that if we have a voltage series feedback or a current series feedback, then the input resistance is increasing or decreasing, output resistance is increasing or decreasing. So first of all we will see a block diagram of a different types of the negative feedback, and all these different types of the feedback has a different characteristics. But remember, the whatever the advantage we have, like a bandwidth, then the distortion, noise, all these parameter is going to reduce in all the types of the feedback. Only thing that input and output resistance is not changing identically in all this amplifier circuit. So that we are going to discuss. So I think so the types of the feedbacks are clear to you. Positive feedback, negative feedback. Positive feedback is used in a oscillator circuit. Negative feedback is used in the amplifier circuit. Now how you are giving the feedback? That you are giving a output voltage to the input or the output current to the input. Accordingly, we have two types of the feedback. Then this whatever the feedback voltage is there, it is connected in series. Then it is a voltage series. If it is connected in shunt parallel to the input signal, then it is a voltage shunt. Same way we have in a current feedback. Okay? Now let us see a diagram, block diagram of all these four types of the feedback. Here you can see that first one here, this is my amplifier circuit, that is our internal amplifier, remember. Then this is a feedback network and the feedback factor is, let us say, K. My input voltage is here, the output voltage of the amplifier is this. Now you can see that whatever the output voltage is developed here across the amplifier, that voltage is given parallel to the input of this feedback network. So this is a kind of a voltage feedback. Now whatever the feedback voltage is generated, this feedback voltage is connected in series with the input signal. So this kind of the amplifier is known as voltage series feedback. Remember, this is a kind of a voltage series feedback. Now, if you see the second one, then what we are finding? Again, the internal amplifier is there, feedback network, my input voltage, and this is the output voltage. Correct? Again, you can see whatever the output voltage is produced here, this voltage is connected to the input of this feedback network. So again, this is a voltage feedback. Now, whatever the feedback voltage is generated, this feedback voltage is connected parallel to this. One of the point is connected here, another point is connected here. So this voltage is in parallel with the input voltage, and therefore this is known as a voltage shunt feedback. Remember. So the two types of the voltage feedback, series feedback and a shunt feedback. Now let us see a third type of the amplifier, third type of the feedback. So here you are finding this is again a amplifier circuit is there, feedback network is here, my input voltage and output voltage of the amplifier is there. But now here you can see the output connection. That normally if you are taking the or if you are measuring the voltage, then always we are connecting parallel to the output terminal. But here we are not taking the output voltage as a feedback. Current is a feedback. So whatever the output current is there or the current is flowing, this output current, that current is given to the input of the feedback network. Remember, this is given to the feedback network, and that's why here the output line is connected to indicate that current is going inside the feedback network. So it is a kind of a current feedback. And then whatever the voltage will be produced here, feedback voltage is going to produce, this feedback voltage is now in series with this, series with the input voltage. So you can say this kind of the amplifier is a current series feedback. Again, the output current is given to the feedback network, it is going to produce the voltage, and this voltage is connected in series with the input voltage. So this is known as a current series feedback. And if you look at the fourth one, then again we can say that this is the amplifier circuit, this one is my feedback network, here we have a input voltage and output voltage, correct? Then you can again see that we are not taking the output voltage as a feedback, but whatever the output current is there in the amplifier, this output current is going inside the feedback network, so it is a current feedback. It is a current feedback. And here the feedback voltage is going to produce, and that voltage is in parallel with the input voltage. So we can say this kind of the amplifier is a current shunt feedback. Remember. So these are the four different types of the negative feedback. How to connect the feedback voltage with the input, accordingly you can have a classification of this feedback. Okay. Now here in these four types of the feedback, what will be the effect on a input resistance and output resistance? That we will discuss here. So if you look at the first circuit, it is a voltage series feedback. Now in voltage series feedback, again the amplifier is there. This is known as a internal amplifier, and this is called a feedback amplifier. Remember, here we have to see what is the input resistance and what is the output resistance. Now, whenever we have any kind of a network, remember, whenever we have a network, then the network has a input terminal also and a output terminal. So whatever the resistance is offered by the input terminal, that is known as the input resistance of that network. And the same way, whatever the resistance we measure across the output terminal, it is called a output resistance of the network. So here if you see, we have two circuits. One is the amplifier circuit and another is a feedback network. So this amplifier circuit will also have a input resistance like this, and it has a output resistance like this. This is the input resistance and the output resistance of the amplifier. Same way, here the feedback network. The feedback network input resistance is here and the output resistance is here. Remember, this is the input resistance and this one is the output resistance of the feedback network. So, here if you look at this terminal, Ri means across this input of the feedback amplifier, then you will find that this resistance Ri is in series with this feedback network. Again, here, if you see the resistance at this point, then this Ri is in series with the output resistance of the feedback network, and if you measure the resistance Ri, and that is called a RIF. Remember, this is a RIF. So, here the two resistance are in series. So you can say that the RIF is going to increase. Means the input resistance of the amplifier is increasing. Now look at the output terminal. Here the output terminal means across this. And if you see this resistance RO and this resistance RI, they are in parallel to each other. Here, this is a RO parallel to RI because we have a voltage connection. Parallel connection is there. So, they are in parallel. So, here in a parallel combination, already you know that the resistance is going to decrease. So, here we can say that the ROF means the output resistance with this feedback is going to decrease. So, this is a characteristic of a voltage series feedback, that input resistance increasing but the output resistance is decreasing. Now, look at this another circuit, voltage shunt feedback. In voltage shunt feedback, if we see again a resistance, then this is the input resistance of the amplifier, this is the output resistance of the amplifier. Here we have a input resistance of the feedback network and this is the output resistance of the feedback network. Now, here in this case you will find that this resistance and this resistance both are parallel to each other. Means the input resistance of the amplifier and the output resistance of the feedback network, they are parallel to each other, and therefore if we measure the resistance at this point, then the RIF is going to decrease. RIF is going to decrease because of the parallel connection of these two resistance. Same way, here also you can find that the output resistance of the amplifier and the input resistance of the feedback network both are parallel to each other, and therefore we can say that the output resistance of this amplifier is going to decrease. So this is a case where by applying the negative feedback, input and output resistance is going to decrease. If you look at the third circuit, then in this circuit, this is my input resistance of the amplifier, this is the output resistance, this is the output resistance of the feedback network, and the output resistance, input resistance of this feedback network. Now, here in this case, you will find that this resistance of this amplifier, input resistance of the amplifier, and this resistance of the feedback network, both are in series. Ri as well as the Ro of this feedback network are in series. So here if we measure this RIF, then due to the series connection of the two resistance, your input resistance of the amplifier is going to increase. So here the property of this amplifier where the input resistance due to the feedback is increasing. Same way, here if you look at this output terminal, that in output terminal, this resistance, output resistance of the amplifier is in series with the input resistance of a feedback network. So here, if you measure the resistance from this point, ROF, this and this, both the resistance are in series. So naturally, the output resistance will increase. So ROF is going to increase. So this is the amplifier where due to this negative feedback, input as well as the output resistance is increasing. And the last one, if you see, now you can also apply your logic and you can find out that the input output is increasing or decreasing. So this is input resistance, this is output resistance. Again we have the input and the output of this feedback network, correct? And here you can see that the input resistance of the amplifier and the output resistance of the feedback network, both are parallel to each other. Then naturally we can say, or if you measure the resistance at this point, that is the RIF, then it will be less than the original resistance. So here by applying a negative feedback, the RIF is going to decrease. It is decreasing. And if you look at the output resistance, then again this output resistance is in series with the input resistance of the feedback network. These two resistance are in series, and therefore here if we measure the resistance at this point, output resistance of the feedback network, then due to the series connection, this resistance is going to increase. So remember that when we apply the negative feedback, it doesn't mean that the input resistance will always increase and the output resistance is always decrease. It depends on what kind of the feedback you are using. In voltage series, input is increasing, output is decreasing. In current field shunt, it is reverse. That the input is decreasing but the output is increasing. And if you see the voltage shunt feedback, both the input and output resistance are going to decrease. And in a current series feedback, the input and the output resistance both are going to increase. So I think so the idea about the input and output resistance of the negative feedback amplifier is clear to you. Now in the next lecture, we will see the circuit diagram of a different types of the feedback. Means if we have a voltage series feedback, then what kind of the circuit will be there, and for that circuit we will calculate the feedback factor, the gain of the amplifier, input resistance of the amplifier. So and then we will discuss what is the current series feedback, and for that also we will find out the parameters.